already aware of before you understand database connectivity. The first thing that you should be aware of is RDBMS, the Relational Database Management System. This you should be already aware, your concepts should be clear. Obviously, this is the required point that you will need. The second thing is that you should be also aware already about C# collections, and especially the methods like add, remove. These are all the methods that are available on the collections of C#, the various classes that you must already be aware, and also about the for each loop, etc. All these things you should be already aware about. Although you should also be aware about the link queries if it is possible. Otherwise, we can always cover them because link syntax is fairly easy to understand. So this is what you should be already aware, and now let me show you how does the whole concept of database connectivity it works in ASP.NET Core. So see, for instance, this is your application here. This is the code for your application, the C# code that you have written. This application is supposed to make certain queries to a remote database. Now, one possibility, that is the classic possibility, is that you write database specific queries on this side. Then it is not possible to replace the database. If there is a need to replace the database at a certain time, then you will have to modify your whole program here also. The basic philosophy is to insert an intermediate layer. An intermediate layer is inserted which is called EF core. The basic philosophy is that your application should not directly talk to the database. It should not directly talk to the database, but it should talk to the intermediate EF core framework. The queries, the commands you give to the EF core framework, they are going to stay common. They are going to remain the same no matter what database you have on the right side. This means your C# code is independent of the database to which you are connecting. Because you are writing a code that is talking only to this EF core framework, and EF core framework is responsible for carrying your commands to the database. This is very similar to our what we call this JVM like story, where you have a Java virtual machine that talks to a specific architecture, but you write the bytecode at one place. The same thing that we do in .NET framework. This is a very similar philosophy where your EF core framework, the code inside the EF core framework, it is specific to this database, but the code that talks to the EF core framework, that is written once. So this is the whole point about it. So now you must have already understood by now that it is the responsibility of the database company, the company or the person who provides the database, it is his responsibility to provide a compatible DLL, or your packages. These packages that are compatible to that particular database on the one side, and on the other side they are able to talk to a general C# program. So EF core framework, this particular code, this DLL or this package is tightly connected to a database, and this has to be provided by the company that provides you the database. So now you must be interested in knowing what all EF frameworks are ready-made available to you. SQL Server is available. You can connect to a SQL Server and its EF framework, it is available. Cosmos, PostgreSQL, MySQL, Firebird, MS Access, and many others, they are available. For this there is a website, a web page maintained by the MSDN documentation. I will open that page in a moment. On that page they have an updated list of all the databases that are supported. For all the databases for which their EF core frameworks, for their EF core DLLs, for their EF core packages or NuGet packages, they are available. So this is what is the basic theme of the database connectivity in ASP.NET Core. Now let us move to the next step, like how is the basic setup done.